contradiction.
No, it is you hold true to a viewpoint you believe to be true, and I hold true to a viewpoint I believe to be true. Yeah?
Yeah.
But that exists in families. God, that exists in families, and usually leads to homelessness and lack of shelter and food and warmth. Because, it gets very serious. It happened with the Trump thing. People suddenly found out in their families, people supported Trump, people didn't support Trump, and they were like, get the fuck out of my house.
Yeah.
Leave now. They're very black and white.
They're intolerant.
And we are blessed. You and I are blessed, and I don't know how, that we can hold contradictory views, but we look for clarification. You want to know why your viewpoint is not the predominant viewpoint, or true, or in which ways it's not applicable. Why it may be erroneous. What the viewpoint I have, what is wrong with it? You're blessed with that.
Right.
Okay? I have a viewpoint which is counter to your viewpoint. And I am blessed with, should I think this? Is it right to think this? Is it wrong to think this? What can counteract? What attacks my viewpoint? What comes at me with what comes with me with fact, with reason, that makes me doubt what I presume to be true, and that I have to sit there and go, God damn it! You're right. You're right. Because both of us chase truth. Both of us chase truth. And you will readily admit you're wrong, and I will readily admit I'm wrong, but that does not exist in public discourse.
No,
because it's seen as like weak or some bullshit. It's not weak. The strongest statement you can admit in today's society is the following phrase: I don't know. That phrase is the most underplayed phrase in discourse that exists today. You know why? Because you sit there to be educated, and you sit there to be educated by the expert and the fool alike. Now the expert will lay out his case, and it will be unquestionable, and good on the expert. Fucking woohoo, you've done it. Where are you? But the fool, woe is he, because the fucker comes out of his clamshell, lays out his erroneous case, and you're like, oh, what a dickhead you fucking are. Because you can coax that shit out, yeah? Because the fool can only exist when he throws suppositions and prepositions and the fool is the octopus. You know why the octopus can't be eaten?
No.
Ink. Yeah? So as soon as you see the octopus, shark goes for the octopus. Boom. Aims for it, goes for it. It's going to grab it. Octopus. Ink everywhere. Where's the octopus? He's gone. Yeah? Clouds judgment. Introduces ambiguity. And the greatest thing the octopus could do is shift the discussion or Overton window over to something else. And you're like, no. You cannot do that. We are talking about this and this subject alone. You cannot move to that. Okay? We have to finish here before we can move on to there. We have to achieve consensus on this. And you can only do that in honesty.
I think the difference between people that can admit they're wrong and people who can't admit they're wrong is the people who can't admit they're wrong have confused their ideas with themselves. Whereas you and I, it's like, let's say we've built a remote control car.
Our ideas are not our identity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's no humbling experience for me to be told that everything I've just said is a load of rubbish, because I don't equate that to my opinion of myself.
I was looking for something to say, but I am...
It's like if you build software...
I am pushed to find anything more eloquent than what you just said. Say it again.
I can't remember now.
No, you just said...
You can't, lightning doesn't strike twice,
no,
Arthur. When I say something clever, that's it. It's done.
Paul, you just said that if you are found to be wrong in anything you believe, that does not reflect in any way, shape, or form on you.
Right.
Yeah?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, no, because if you have a proposition or supposition...
I'm happy to be wrong.
Yes. And I think, again, who said lightning doesn't strike twice? Because that is it. That is it.
I imagine...
And I think you could walk into an argument with that. I think you could walk into an argument that you could walk in and say, look, whatever it is, immigration, the state of the country, parties, Epstein, whatever it is, you could walk in, and if you laid down your things and I am happy to be wrong, and then you faced your opposition with saying, are you happy to be wrong?
Yeah.
The argument's over. The discussion is finished. Because there's something that the people believe that if you stick to your lightning rod and you hold that true and fast, that you are proven to be a man of character and a man that sticks by their beliefs and principles. And it's just like, no, that is not a belief or principle, because you've confused fact with opinion. And the ability to traverse between the two is fucking shocking. Yeah, there should be like 2 different radio stations, 2 different TV stations. Fuck me, draw a line down the middle of the country. There should be 2 different things. You cannot differentiate, you cannot traverse between that is fact and known and that is what you believe, yeah? And the reason we're having this discussion is because we've gone to the other, which is that which you believe, yeah. And the reason we're having this discussion and recording it is because whether you should give unsolicited advice. That is where our conversation currently stands.
We're talking about now. What's the saying? Don't ask.
Don't give unsolicited advice for fear of hearing what it's worth.
Right now, see, I think
we stand at 2 opposite ends of this.
Yeah, that's right. I think unsolicited advice.
The barrier exists. The Good Samaritan.
I would guess that more good advice, percentage-wise, is unsolicited than solicited. Because why would someone volunteer advice unsolicited unless they're pretty sure they knew what they're talking about?
The character. The character of the individual.
If someone comes up to me and says something that I haven't asked for, I'm thinking, what's motivated them to do it? Surely they must be pretty sure that they're what's saying right.
So your first filter, I would proposition, would be the Good Samaritan. So you put it through that first.
In general, good advice is generally well-meaning. In general,
so your first filter is, do they have my best intentions at heart?
Yeah,
okay.
I would consider that.
So,
yeah,
and that covers your healthcare case, and at least we forget that is the case of someone spotting that you have a mole or you have a discoloration and it might need looking at. That's healthcare, and that also covers your car is double parked outside the pub, and you might want to repark your car. So, do they have my best
interests at heart?
Interests at heart, yeah, but to move on from that, we need to devise how you would know that they have your best interests at heart. So, someone says you have discoloration in the back and a mole? Why the fuck would they lie about that?
Right.
Someone says you're double parked. Okay, no, better yet. Someone says you've got discoloration on your back, you need it checked. You've got a mole on your back, you need it checked. You're double parked, you need it checked. Why would they lie about it? How would they benefit from telling you you've got a mole on your back, you've got a discoloration on your back, you're double parked outside a pub? How do they benefit? They don't. There's just no way they... And like, even if they owned a parking company or a healthcare company, they don't benefit. They benefit from not telling you.
Statistically, it's very unlikely that this will be for their benefit. I mean, who knows? They might just want you to go and move your car so they can steal your seat. But statistically, it's likely that they are well-intentioned.
Yes. It's like if someone gives you a dice and says, if you roll 6, you give me £10. If you roll any other number, I give you £10. You're going to take the dice and roll it. Because the 5 times out of 6, you're going to get it right, aren't you? Yeah? So it's just like majority of the time, they're well-intentioned. Because the ill-intentioned version of that scenario quite honestly doesn't exist.
Well, they'd have to probably be a lunatic if they're going to tell you your car's double parked, you should move it for any other reason than to want you to not get a ticket.
So it would only ever fall under jest?
I mean, yeah, it could be a joke, or like I say, it could be that they want you to clear off so they can chat up your girlfriend. You don't know. But the likelihood is that they're trying to help you not get a parking ticket.
Mm. Yeah. Okay. So, unsolicited advice. I think the origins of that statement are the fact that don't ever give it unsolicited, and it's.
See, I think that's a really unhelpful thing to say to someone.
I think we're getting it conflated because we're talking advice. That's not advice.
Well, move your car is advice.
No. Like, you got a mole on your back.
You should get it checked. That's advice.
Yes, but the chances of that turning into something, if you're raising it, the chances of that turning into something bad are high enough for you to raise it. Okay? The fact you're parked on a yellow, the chances of you getting done for that are high. Okay? So these have all been raised to be above the margins of probability. Okay? So you're going to get skin cancer. You're going to get a freaking ticket outside the pub.
Well, if it was unlikely, they probably wouldn't bother advising you, because it's probably unlikely anything bad's going to happen.
Okay, yeah, and this is where you get your chance. I'll give you your window on this, because you're taking the average across the nation, and you're saying that they all look at your mole and you're double parking. They go, "There's a fucking high chance he's got skin cancer. There's a fucking high chance that that guy around the corner writing tickets is going to come around the corner and do him." So there's a higher chance than not. Because you could be... Okay, case in point, yeah, is they overreact. It's a discoloration and it's not skin cancer, yeah? That's one. You're in a country pub in the middle of fucking nowhere and people that write parking tickets don't exist.
Right.
You're overreacting.
Yeah.
Yeah? So there is that case to be made, yeah, and that's what weights it, okay, and yeah. I mean, like I can't deny that. I can't deny, but that's environmental.
Yeah, if we're in the middle of nowhere, yeah. I mean, like I say, if we're in the middle of nowhere and someone says you're going to get a ticket, and I say, well, there aren't any traffic wardens around here, so I wouldn't worry about it. But in all likelihood, most of the time, the person giving you the advice to be aware of that, you know what I mean? So if you're in an area where there aren't any traffic wardens, it's unlikely that anyone's going to come up to you and say you should move your car. So I still think in the majority of cases, unsolicited advice is probably more likely to be useful.
Well, the problem is, given the time and space to consider this, I think we're considering it outside of the bounds of what the original quote was made for. Right. The quote was made for people you know.
Right.
People related or friends. Yeah. So the cases we're talking about can go on to eternity, because you've got a mad person coming and going, oh, they're going to give you a ticket. And like, I'm in a country pub. Like, so you got to match environment with advice. Yeah. And that will never change.
Right.
You know, a mad person comes in going, you're going to get a ticket, and you're either in a city pub and you're on double yellow and you're like, dude, nice one, thanks mate. Get out there, sort it out, and don't get a ticket. Oh. Or you're in a country pub in the middle of nowhere, and you're just like, dude, you're a loon. You're an absolute loon now, because the environment contradicts our advice. Yeah? So we can debate that to the end of time. But I think the original thing of do not give unsolicited advice for fear of what it's worth is actually aimed at those that are closest to us. So we're talking about friends or family, and unfortunately in a closer, more close-knit environment than that of skin cancer and pub car parking, and the fact that in a normal everyday situation there is, I think this is what it warns against, is that the conversation that you're having takes a divergent trajectory into a subject matter that is unnatural to the conversation you're having. Like, if you were suddenly to interject to the conversation we're having now, going, you very good point, absolutely on board, totally agree with that, but by the way, have you heard of copper? Copper's a great thing to invest in right now. Gold's solid, silver's good, most people are selling silver, but copper is actually a used asset and it's required in electrical batteries. And I'll be like, fucking dude, the fuck are you talking about? I'm talking about fucking copper. We're talking about psychology. We're talking about it. So you've taken that, you've hijacked the conversation and taken it in a different trajectory, almost like a branch from a tree. And I think that's what it's a warning against, is the fact of the misdirection and trajectory of someone to interject unsolicited advice into the ebb and flow of a standard conversation. Yeah?
But the way people talk, the humans communicate, does need someone at some point to change the subject. Otherwise, we'd all just constantly talk about the same thing without ever changing the subject. Well, because at some point you reach the end, probably like where we are now with this, of what can be said.
We can circle this subject to any time. We can satellite this subject for as long as you want.
All right, okay, I'm going to go... All right, I'll go back to what you said about it being people you know.
Oh, shit.
So we stay on topic here. People you know.
Yeah, I think that's what... but, okay, rewind and I'll give you reason to contradict me. Because, again, we're both chasing truth and this is a unique circumstance. We are not invested in what we believe. We seek we have propositions, we have beliefs, we have understanding, and we have previous experiences which lead into what we believe and
Do you know what it's like? It's like scientists. The goal of a scientist isn't to prove something, it's to disprove something. We want to disprove our own ideas.
No.
That's the goal of the scientist.
Don't get too bloody close. Because the scientists actually get funded, and that's a whole different subject. Let's not even get close to that. Because I tell you what,
I'm talking about the honourable scientist. I'm talking
like
about.
They fucking exist.
I'm talking about how you, like with software. You write software, yeah, or do you? I don't know.
Let's let's stay on subject.
I know this is subject. It's still subject.
It's not. It's so
let's say you made a program that did something. You would want to get people to try and hack it and destroy it to make sure it's good, wouldn't you? You wouldn't want people to tell you, yeah, your software is great.
That's completely based on my intentions.
Well, your intention, presumably, is to make a solid piece of software.
No.
What's your intention?
Speed to market.
Right. Right.
So let's not just do that.
I'll change.
Please, let's just leave that for another conversation, because we've got fascinating subjects to cover that deserve a completely separate space in which they need to be discussed. Yeah? What we should discuss now is unsolicited advice. That's what we're talking about, yeah? Let's focus on the subject matter of unsolicited advice, yeah?
Yeah, go
on. So, I believe that statement to be is the fact that it's and I believe it to be constrained to relatives, family, and close associates, such as friends. The reason being is because we've explored everything outside, and we've explored the view that it could be truthful, and it predominantly is truthful, but there's also an element of nefarious. Now, if you have family, relative, or close associate, you have a history with that individual, yeah?
Yeah.
And if the warning in this phrase, do not give unsolicited advice for fear of what it's worth, yeah? Which is, don't say what you think in something without being asked.
Yeah.
Because you're branching off the main tree of the subject matter that you're covering with that individual. Yeah? And you're looking to look like a dick, dude. Don't fucking do it. You know? Paul, if I want to know about Bitcoin, I'll ask you about Bitcoin. If I want to know about Thailand, Paul, I will ask you about Thailand. Literally, if there's anything about the current developments in art in the United Kingdom, there's no person I would come to but you, and I will come to you with an open heart and willing to accept what you know and understand to be art as it exists in the United Kingdom. But I will ask you that, Paul. Don't tell me what you think.
What if?
Yeah?
What if?
If you tell me what you think, I will instantly... Because if you tell me what you think about art in the UK now, without me asking, that immediately sows the seeds of suspicion. Why are you telling me how art is in the UK? And the conversation's not even there. We're talking about chalets in Switzerland.
But what difference does it make whether you're suspicious or not to whether or not my advice is any good?
Because you have a driving force. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay? Now, if I ask you about it, there's no driving force. I've literally reached in to you and said, give me your opinion of this. Why are chocolate-coated peanuts in Sainsbury's cost so much? And you'll have an opinion on chocolate, and you'll have an opinion on peanuts, and you'll give that to me. But I've reached into you and extracted that bit of information. I have asked you, I've gone to you, I've got up from where I am, I've walked across the room, and I've come to you.
Right.
To get that piece of information.
Yeah.
And whether I value that or not is kind of... It is relevant. I mean, I must value it if I've asked you it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I there must be a confusion or cloud or mist or unknown about the ethereal nature of chocolate peanuts in Sainsbury's for me to look at you as an expert on chocolate peanuts in Sainsbury's. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, for you and I to talk about chalets in Switzerland and whether I should buy one, and Sri likes chalets in Switzerland, and then you to hijack that line of conversation and do I won't do 180 because it's a bit cruel. I'll do a 90 degree into the current, speculation around chocolate coated peanuts in Sainsbury's as a good investment vehicle.
But unsolicited advice doesn't necessarily...
That's unsolicited.
Yeah, but it doesn't...
Is that unsolicited?
Yes, it would be.
Okay, is that a hijacking of the conversation?
I wouldn't go that far. It's disrupting the flow of the conversation to change the subject.
It's hijacking, dude. You're taking the trajectory of the North Star.
Alright, let's say it's hijacking. Let's say it's hijacking.
Because the natural trajectory is
great.
What floor paneling you're going to get,
but
what heating you're going to get, how do you get there, is there a cable car? You talk around the satellites of the subject of the Swiss chalet. To talk about peanuts.
Yeah, it's doing a handbrake. It's doing a handbrake turn. That's
okay. So we could.
It's hijacking.
I profusely apologise. Hijacking is a very loaded term. I give you that.
But the thing is,
a 90-degree trajectory.
But the thing is, whether or not you're hijacking a subject or even change the subject. Let's say you and Sheree are talking about chalets in Switzerland, yeah, and I give you some unsolicited advice. That unsolicited advice...
Unsolicited advice in what?
It could be anything. It could even be about chalets in Switzerland. But the thing is, just because it's unsolicited, why does that make it, therefore, worthless?
Well, okay, now I will see territory because it's a proximity to the subject matter.
Why does that make it worthless? If it's far away, near, what difference does that make? It might be good advice.
No,
I don't know.
Self-preservation.
Why? What does self-preservation have to do with it?
we are not predators. Homo sapiens, we're not normal predators.
Right.
Yeah? The fact that we've climbed to the head of the food chain is fucking a miracle as far as I'm concerned.
We have opposable thumbs, so...
Well, great, we're good games console. Fucking what are we gonna do? Play Xbox all day. All good fun, yeah. But someone taught me this in special effects, and it was more eye-opening than any anthropological or biological research I've ever read on Homo sapiens. It's amazing. He was he did 2D effects, yeah. So you know the classic thing like Weatherman in front of a green screen. This is the thing, and he says it's going to rain here, and it's going to be sunny here, and it's going to be cloudy there, and he does it, but there's nothing there because it's green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He can't see anything. Yeah.
They do the same thing in movies. Yeah. Now I was watching they doing this movie, and they did a pan shot at the inside of a Parisian home in the film that I was working on, yeah? And the outside, it was in the studio, and there was doors open to the grates on the barricade, the banisters, whatever it was, at 3 points. The beginning of the shot, the middle of the pan shot, the end of the pan shot. And they had the background to go where the green was because they were in a studio, yeah? And I was watching this guy, and he was doing it, and he was repeating the scene, and he was doing the middle bit, and he was doing it again and again and again. And I was like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? I mean, you've got it. You've got it, that's it. That you've got it covered. It's tracking, it's perfect like that. So the boss who ran the facility, he was out, and the guy was sitting down there, and it was a bit of software called Shake, and he was matching up. I sat down next to him, and I was like, dude, what are you doing? And he goes, I've got to get it just right. And I was like, it is just right. And he goes, no, you're not seeing it. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck am I not seeing? And he goes, well, look. He goes, let me show you something. And he took away the foreground and showed me the background. He goes, do you see the grating? Because it was a Parisian background. It was in Paris. It showed the gardens, and it showed the gates, and it wasn't gates, but the fencing in front of the properties like that. And he goes, do you see all that? And I go, yeah. He goes, all right. And he switched it and showed me the foreground. And he goes, do you see all that? I go, yeah. And he goes, do you see that there's also fencing on the balcony? And I went, yeah. And he goes, all right, let me layer the two of it. He goes, let me go slowly over. And he went frame by frame over it, yeah? And I went, I see it. It slightly changes between the two. And he goes, that's it. And he goes, that's the uncanny valley. Do you know the uncanny valley?
No.
All right, that's the difference between reality and fiction. And it's the thing that breaks reality from fiction. So when you're trying to make reality from fiction, the uncanny valley is a place you don't want to be, because it's where people go on it because it's fake. Yeah, you know, you don't want to be in the massive gap where it's fake. You want to cross the uncanny valley and get into where the people are seamless. They don't even know. And he goes, the problem is he goes, you see the fencing in the far background that they've got in front of the properties. He goes, that is overlaid with the fencing on the balcony. And if there's any jitter between the two fencing, you know that that's a fake background. I was like, oh my God. And he goes, do you know why that is? And I went, well, no. And he goes, that's because we are not predators. We are prey. And as Homo sapiens, and he just went into this fucking monologue of who we are as a species, and it was unbelievable. And I was like, dude, you're just an editor. You're just an editor. You put these two things together, but you had the understandings of us as a species. And he says, do you know when we were on the savannah and we were like, ooh, and we hit things over the head and we dragged it to a cave and we ate it and stuff like that, we'd survey our surroundings. And if there was a twitter, a movement, an irregular, it didn't go with the wind, it counteracted the wind. Yeah, like antelope do with lion. Yeah, we saw on the horizon, boom. And he goes, do you know what? He goes, that supersedes consciousness. It evaporates anything you have of your knowledge of what you're watching. It supersedes everything, and you're like, run, go, run. And he goes, as soon as you see that corn leaf twitter, you see it sway from right to left instead of left to right, you know that's wrong. It's intrinsically, and you don't have time to process consciously. You're off and you're gone. And he goes, we still retain that to this day. And he goes, that is what I'm trying to remove from the scene today. And I was just blown the fuck away. I was blown the fuck. It was amazing. And that it's a study of true human psychology and the ability. We have instruments at our disposal that we do not comprehend nor understand, but feed into our consciousness and dictate our understanding of reality.
But does that have anything to do with whether or not unsolicited advice is valuable?
Mm-hmm.
I understand what you're saying about how amazingly perceptive we are about things that we're not even conscious we're perceiving. Which I think is what you're saying.
Because unsolicited advice does not exist on those rails.
But the thing is, unsolicited advice, despite everything you've just said, could still be good advice.
Yeah, well then but we're stuck back with a good Samaritan. Now look, do you want to chase this down inside or outside the family friendship trusted circle?
Let's do inside.
Inside trusted. So we've done outside trusted circle, yeah, and it's weighted by environment.
Exactly.
Okay, so I think we've kind of exhausted that.
Yeah.
So inside. So make your case for inside.
With inside, there's more likelihood of ulterior motive in the person giving the advice.
Why?
Because
intrinsically. Wait, interior, friends, family, relatives, there's more likely to be an ulterior motive.
Yeah.
But based on what?
The fact that your lives are intertwined and more consequential to each other. For example,
No.
I'll give you an example. Somebody who doesn't know me might say, if I were you, I wouldn't go skydiving. And I say, why? Well, it's dangerous and it's windy. Now, let's say someone I know tells me that. I'll be more alert to what their ulterior motive might possibly be. Because my life, anyone close to me.
Okay, okay. So you're more aware.
There's more things to consider.
Let me just clarify, and you can disagree or agree. Okay. You're more aware of an ulterior motive to a recommendation from someone within your circle.
Yes.
Okay. Why?
Because my actions are more consequential to them, and we have a more complex relationship, so there's more considerations. For example, a complete stranger to give a complete stranger intentionally bad advice, you'd probably have to be a lunatic. But someone close to you might have an ulterior motive. Like, I want him to go out, not because I think he'll have a good time, but because while he's out, I want to play on his computer. Or I want him to go skydiving.
Wait, skydiving, classic case in point.
Yeah.
Guy outside of your social circle.
Yeah.
Dude, you haven't packed your parachute properly.
Yeah.
Inside your social circle, sister.
Yeah.
Dude, you haven't packed your parachute properly.
Yeah.
I'd put more weight with the sister than I would with the dude.
Well, in that situation, because the consequences are so huge, I would consider it if it's a squirrel telling me I haven't packed my parachute. Because the consequences are, it will take me...
So when would you not apply the weight?
No, it's not necessarily about weight, it's about how complex considerations are if someone's giving you advice. Like, for example, if somebody I don't know is giving me... I'd have to assume their intention is good. unless I'm just going on the assumption that they're a
No,
lunatic.
we've got to rewind before that. You've already made an assumption.
No,
We can't
not an
walk into a
assumption.
predicament with an assumption.
No,
The
precaution.
reason we're having this conversation because there's lack thereof.
Well, if someone gives me advice who I know quite well, I'll be suspicious because I know them well, and therefore.
What the literal fuck, Paul? I don't want to exist in your mind. So,
Well,
no
because-
matter, you're telling me
Yeah.
I love you to bits.
Right.
I think, Paul, you're possibly one of the greatest artists I've ever encountered.
I know something bad's coming. When you start,
The pessimism is overwhelming.
I know when
I know when I'm being set up. I know when I'm being set up.
when the good's coming,
Yeah,
I know the bad's following. So
But give me the but. Yeah.
give me the
Give me the
Paul,
but, give me the but, okay.
You're completely wrong
But
with it.
but the non-physical nor relational emotional.
Yeah.
It's not even that. The agreed upon shared proximity
Yeah.
that we have as
Yeah.
cousins
Yeah.
is inversely proportional to the amount of trust. So no matter how, the closer I get to you as a cousin, the more you distrust me.
Not distrust, the more complex my considerations are. Because you're just not a complete stranger, you're someone I know. And it's not obviously unique to you, it's anyone I know. The closer you are to me, the more complex the relationship. So therefore, there's more likelihood of ulterior motive.
There's one dimension.
All right, if you
Proximity.
look at Shakespeare.
You're saying one dimension increases complexity.
Yeah, look at Shakespeare, yeah. All right, here's a statistic. You're more
I
likely...
don't want a statistic.
No, this is
Paul.
relevant.
I want to know how a one-dimensional range impacts and just explodes possibilities of complexity.
Here we go. You're more likely to be murdered by someone who loves you than a complete stranger.
And
Because you'd think that was irrational. You'd think the
Fuck
last
no.
person...
If they've had enough of your shit, they're going to cut it short.
Exactly. You have complex... People are irrational, and if your death, for example, has a consequence on someone close to you. For example, the rich husband with a wife who's getting bored of him, she says to him, "Don't go to the doctor, John. You'll probably be fine." Now, if that was a complete stranger, he'd think, "Oh, that person probably thinks I shouldn't go to the doctor. I'll probably be fine." He'll take it at face value because they're a complete stranger. But the rich man with the wife that he knows is getting bored of him might thinking, "She might be hoping I'll pop my clogs soon, so she gets the house." Now that
Ulterior
might not,
motive.
So it's not that he might in most cases think, no, she's got my best interests at heart, but because
It's a romantic connection. You and I don't
But it's
have a
more
romantic
complex.
connection.
but doesn't have to be romantic. But
It does.
in any way you know each other.
Oh, are you so ignorant to think the romantic dimension is completely separate from that as a family?
Well, I'm saying that there's more things to consider when someone's close to you, irrespective. It doesn't have to be purely romantic considerations. For example,
I agree with you. On can reveal to you realities to situations outside of your relationship to you and on that only on can reveal you to. I, or your father, can reveal to you realities that only your father and I can imbue upon you that on cannot reveal to you. Yeah? Or Lucy, or the guy in America or whatever.
yeah.
Yeah?
But there are variables that aren't romantic themed that could be influential on whether or not someone's giving you good or bad intentioned advice. For example,
Wait, can we just come back to unsolicited advice? Because
that's what I'm talking about.
These are fascinating subjects that need to deserve their own time frame. But do not give unsolicited advice for fear of hearing what it's worth.
Yeah.
Go on.
Well, I think in most cases, you're more likely to be given good advice if it's unsolicited than if it's solicited. Because you're asking someone something that they are not volunteering. So they might say, and they've not had the urge necessarily to proactively give that advice. If someone has the urge to give you advice, that motivation is probably well-meaning. So I'd say it's statistically more likely to be good advice than advice you ask for.
You've got to say that again, mate.
All right, let's say you're lost. Let's say you're lost.
A lot of fucking Baileys. I've got to absorb this at a lot slower rate than your mind's working at, and you're younger than me.
Let's say you're lost in the centre of town, yeah, and you're clearly looking for a place to go to the toilet, yeah. You've got your legs crossed or whatever. Now, if you ask somebody,
it's not unsolicited, you asked.
No, I'm giving you both examples, solicited and unsolicited. You ask somebody, sorry, can you tell me where's the nearest toilet, right? And let's say another scenario, someone comes up to you and says, I can see you really need to go to the toilet, just to let you know it's down there. I would be more trusting of the man who came up to me unsolicited and told me where the toilet was than somebody I went up to and asked their opinion. Because what motivated that man to tell me where the toilets were? Now, the man who tells you where the toilet is because you asked him...
It's just not anything that ever crossed my mind, to be honest.
Well, it doesn't... I mean, why would you...
I both weigh them equally.
See, I wouldn't. I would... If the bloke comes up to me and I haven't said anything to him, he says, I can see you need the toilet, just to let you know, mate, it's over there. I would be 100% sure that unless, of course, that man's a raving lunatic... he's right about where the toilets are. Because why would somebody who doesn't know where the toilets are come and tell me that they're over there?
For a laugh.
Exactly. How often would that happen?
A lot in London.
No. I think that would be extraordinarily rare to happen. It could happen, but it's less likely to happen than if you go up to someone and ask them.
No, so you're saying you dive for the toilets in the middle of London, if you ask someone and they say go there, and then
they might just be trying to get rid of you. Wait,
let me lay out the case and you can say whether it's erroneous or not. You're in the middle of London, you're in the loos, you ask for someone, they say it's there. You're in the middle of London, you're down for the loos, someone sees you're down for the loos and they say it's there.
Yeah.
Okay? You're saying that the person that you ask is more likely to give you false information.
Correct.
Than the person that approaches you.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Based on what?
Why would he come up to you and tell you where he thinks the toilets
it's
are?
Fucking hilarious. Dude,
I don't think many people have that.
Fuck your shit all the time.
All right, okay. Let me pick another example
Literally
where it wouldn't be.
I'll give you a safety valve.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go to a person, cross-legged, Leicester Square, dying for a piss. Can you recommend? Yeah. And if they pause, okay, this is very intricate, and I won't deny that. If they pause and don't look around, okay, fuck that. They pause and look around and they consider their environment before making a recommendation. That man is true and well, because that's a very... You have to be an actor to lie that shit.
I think that looks like he's guessing.
No, because he's considering the Burger King, the McDonald's and the Wendy's. He's taking all of them in.
If he needs to do that, he doesn't know where the toilets are.
Dude, he could be a stranger to Leicester Square. Who lives in fucking Leicester Square?
I would be more trusting of a person who stops and thinks without looking around than somebody who looks around. Somebody who has to look around.
Oh, well, now we're getting to the crux of the matter. Because in a fucking way, someone that instantly knows, I don't trust them. No fucking way. You don't instantly know.
No, if
It's
somebody...
Leicester Square. Does he live in Leicester Square? Does he work in Leicester Square? How the fuck does he know the best place in Leicester Square? Dude, look, Paul, right fucking now, how does he know?
I know.
The best place to pee if you're a grown male in Leicester Square. How does he know?
Because
now, tell me.
He's been for a piss there before. If you're in Leicester Square and you ask me where the toilets
What
are...
are the chances you... Okay, wait. Okay, yeah, okay, I'll take that. But, what are the chances, roll a dice, you're going to talk to a person that regularly urinates in Leicester Square?
Which is exactly why I think... Yeah.
What are the chances?
Very low.
Thank you fucking very much.
Which is exactly
so
why...
you're going to bump into a tourist that doesn't fucking know, and they might have a chance.
Which is exactly why I think the unsolicited advice is more reliable. Who's going to go up to a man with crossed legs? Like I said, you've already said to somebody who thinks it's funny. But the thing is, if you came up to me in Leicester Square and asked me where the nearest toilets are, I'd straight away say Burger King. Because I know Leicester Square and I used to work in Leicester Square and I went for a piss in Burger King. And that's a true story. I did, delivering leaflets. I would tell you that straight away. I wouldn't need to think about it because I know. Well, so your theory that if they told you straight away what the answer was would make you more suspicious.
Yes.
I'm saying that I do happen to know where the toilets are in Leicester Square.
Yes, I'd be suspicious of you. Straight up.
But if I know, why would I pause?
No, but Paul, who says I'm talking to you?
You don't have to be talking to me.
No, well, that's what I'm saying. It's your very small selection.
How many people who don't know where the toilets are in Leicester Square would say straight away?
No, but we're saying I walk out of Leicester Square and dive for a piss and I happen to talk to you. That's not going to happen.
All right,
is it?
So it doesn't have to be me in this scenario.
It is very unlikely to be you. Can we agree that?
Yes.
Exactly. So we can remove you from the fucking equation.
Yes.
Thank you very much, okay? Now, predominantly, walking around Leicester Square are tourists.
Yes.
Okay? So you're going to get... And we might have to, like, massage the situation to say, don't knows.
Right.
Okay? And then bump into someone that's leaving their job, which is to work in Leicester Square.
Right.
They work in Leicester Square, they do this, that and the other. And they, you know, I don't know, work 2 years in Leicester Square, they kind of know the layout, they know where you've come out in Leicester Square, because you can come out in multiple places, yeah? And let's say you bump into that individual.
Yeah.
Okay? And they know where to go, yeah?
Yeah.
Now, but now with the now we take a leap of faith, because we get into human interaction, yeah. Because someone that can don't trust, yeah. Someone takes a breath and then names it, trust. Someone that takes it. Let me just finish. Someone that takes a breath, looks around, because they're underground, or maybe they're above ground, I don't fucking know, yeah? And takes in their surroundings, and then names it, I trust, yeah? So you have three there. You have the person that just knows. Don't trust that, straight away.
I get it. Three people.
Just straight fucking right off the bat. Because they haven't considered my predicament, yeah?
I would have them in the exact...
Can I just rename all of them?
All right, say...
So
all right,
clarity.
All right.
Can I just give me my 5 minutes of fame, yeah?
Go on in.
Okay. Names it straight off the bat. No, because you don't know who I am, what I do, and what I do. You just pointing some shit out, yeah? Whatever. But erroneous or not, doesn't matter. It's so quick that I instantly discard it. Attribute that what you will.
Mm-hmm.
Secondly, yeah, they look round to get their bearings and then instantly lay upon what they know to be true, and then attribute that, yeah. And then you've got the third, which also happens to me many times, and I'm sure it happens to you, where they give you the options, and then amongst the options they give you their recommendation. So you've got the instant, the recommendation, and then you've got the options and the recommendation. So I give you postulate the three: instant, recommendation, the possibles, and the recommendation. Is what I
get it.
That's when you get beyond the I don't knows of the tourists.
Yeah, I know, and I would trust one.
Okay,
and
so
three.
I want to know your riposte to that.
Right. Well, okay. Just before I say that, we've now changed what the three options are, because the three options were the instant guy, the guy that looks around, and the guy that doesn't look around.
No,
Now,
he still looks around, but he tells you what he's looking at.
exactly. So now we've changed the three options.
Well, there's still three.
I know there's still three, but they're three different ones.
Okay, so tell me what the difference is.
The difference is that instead of having the guy that doesn't look around, we've got a guy who gives you various options and his recommendation. We've swapped that guy for that guy.
For who?
In both scenarios, we've got the guy who gives you the instant answer.
Yes.
And we've also, in both scenarios, got the guy who looks around and gives you his answer.
Yes.
Now, the third guy has changed. Initially, in Leicester Square, we had the guy who doesn't look around but tells you where he thinks the toilet is. That guy...
Wait.
That guy has been switched for a guy.
Say that again, sorry. It's just
the third guy has changed.
From?
The guy who doesn't look around but tells you where he thinks the toilets are has been...
But that's the same as the first guy.
No, the first guy's the guy that gives you the immediate answer.
Yeah, same thing.
No, it's not the same thing.
Okay, what's the difference?
He thinks, he doesn't give it straight away, but he doesn't look around.
So delay.
Delay without looking around. That was our first scenario.
Oh, for fuck! That's minuscule, Paul. You're picking. That's
no,
nitpicking.
You've
nitpicking.
No, you haven't heard.
All right, okay.
You haven't heard
So,
what I've switched it for.
Yeah,
you.
but okay. Before you move on, I want to know why you define the two. What makes you, as Paul, consider the person that instantly points at something and the person that considers and points at something two different?
They're not the two different people, Arthur. You don't understand.
Did.
No, you don't understand. The second scenario was the guy who gives you various options and then gives his recommended one. That's the guy that you switch for the guy who doesn't look around. I don't think you understand.
You have to lay it out again. Go on.
Okay. In our first scenario, we had three guys. The first guy gave you the answer straight away, immediately. Bang, toilet's over there. The second guy looked around and said, they're over there, after having looked around. Both those two are in both scenarios, but the third guy is different. In the first scenario, the third guy is a guy who doesn't look around but thinks about it and then gives you an answer. In a second scenario, you always stop before I've finished explaining. The second scenario, the third guy, he doesn't not look around. He gives you various options and chooses his recommended one.
Second.
That's what I'm saying. That was your second scenario.
Yeah.
So the three people have changed.
No, I agree they've changed.
Yeah, so
I just
my
want to know
question...
how.
All right, it's very simple, Arthur.
No,
right?
it's not.
It is. You're
It's
drunk.
not.
No, when you
It's
listen...
not. If it was simple, we wouldn't be discussing
No,
this.
the reason why you don't understand this is because you're drunk. So when you
I'm
listen...
not-
when
I'm
you
not
listen...
fluid when I'm drunk.
Believe me, Arthur, when you listen to this recording, you are going to be pissing yourself laughing with how drunk you were. This is a very simple concept, Arthur.
Oh.
Scenario 1 and scenario 2.
I'll be Batman holding...
Right.
There you go on.
Scenario 1 and scenario 2. Scenario 1 has 3 people. Scenario 2 has 3 people. Yeah?
3 people?
Yes.
What do you mean 3 people?
Okay. The first person is someone who tells you where the toilets are straight away.
Well, it's just lay the groundwork. Someone comes up from the tubes, Leicester Square, wants to find where to go for a pee. Can we agree upon that, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. First person, in all scenarios, well, all scenarios, there's only 2.
Yes.
There's 2 scenarios.
Yeah.
First person instantly says something.
Correct.
We don't like that, yeah? Second...
No, you don't. I do like that. I believe that person.
Okay, but let's just say that happens.
Yes.
Okay, so we agree upon that. Second scenario... Okay, no, but actually...
Both scenarios, that person is the first person.
I'm going to fucking leave it there. and I'm going to let you take over.
Right. Second person.
So it comes up from the tube.
Arthur,
First scenario.
you are repeating yourself all the time. We've got that.
No, but I like repeating myself because I want to know where I am.
Go on then. Repeat
Comes
yourself.
Up from the tube.
Yeah.
Arse, I need a pee.
Yes.
We've got 3 scenarios.
No, we've got 2 scenarios,
no,
Arthur.
we've got 3.
No, we don't. We have 2. There's 3 people, 2 scenarios.
3 people? How
Yes.
the fuck is there 3 people?
The first person tells you where the toilets are straight away. The second person looks around and tells you where the toilets are. The third person doesn't look around.
Okay. Cross thing. I'm just saying the same person comes in and does it 3 times. It's 2 people. He just comes in. First time he comes in, he says straight away. Second time he comes in, you take it from there. It's the same person. I don't give a fuck.
It doesn't really matter if it's the same person or different person. The point is the third set of advice, whether it's from the same person or a different person.
We agree upon the first, go from the second.
No, Arthur.
We agree upon the first. The first is, I instantly know where it is.
The second is the person or scenario, not scenario, the answer where they look around and then after having looked around, they tell you where the toilets are.
Okay, yeah.
Right. The third is where the difference is between the 2 scenarios.
So we agree upon the second?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right.
The third is different in the first scenario to the second scenario.
Okay, to just say my scenario and your scenario. Let's go on.
Which one's mine and which one's yours?
Well, I don't know. You tell me.
All right. Well, let's say your scenario.
No, please start with yours because it works better for me.
All right. Let's say.
Yes, I will agree. Okay.
All right. Okay. For reasons I'm not sure of, but let's say whatever. My scenario is we're in Leicester Square.
Third scenario.
There's no third scenario. There's 2 scenarios.
There's
two scenarios.
How is it not? No, because the first one is he just agrees.
That's a person, not a scenario.
Oh, I'm not getting into this.
All right.
I'm not getting into this.
All right.
You've got to give me 3, Paul. You cannot do this shit. I don't give a fuck about people. Every time, fresh, from the beginning, straight up, he walks up from the tube. It doesn't matter if he's black, grey, green or alien.
All right, let's make it one scenario.
Every time he walks up
for
from the tube
simplicity's sake,
and he meets someone and he asks them, don't mix that shit up. Yeah, it's 3 possible scenarios.
This is
First one is he names it. We agree upon that. Second one, he looks around and then he names it. We agree upon that. Third one, what do you think?
There's 2 because you switched them. The first time, the third person didn't look around but thought about it and then gave you the answer. Then, when you talked about it later, you made the third person someone who gives you various options and then picks his recommended one. 2 different answers.
Look, yes. Yes, that's what I said, okay? Factor that into what you're saying. Because yes, I said that. Yes,
so which is it?
Straight down.
Yeah, so we've now changed the third set of advice. The first advice was given straight away.
Yes.
The second advice was look around and give you an answer.
Yes.
Now,
which we both agree upon.
Correct, Arthur.
Okay.
Now, this is where we've got into a situation.
I'm just hoping to get onto the third one.
There's 2 options because we've switched them. The third one used to be, at the beginning of this conversation, the guy who stops and thinks without looking around and then tells you what he thinks is the answer. Correct? You remember that scenario?
Wait. Yes.
Well, that changed. It changed to giving you various options and picking a recommended one.
Which is my one.
Well, yeah, so it changed.
Okay,
so that's
so
the point I'm
you've
making.
got one and I've got one.
Well, yeah, but why? Now we're talking about different things because now we've
so
changed.
maybe we need 4.
Let's say 4. So in that scenario, let's say I was given those 4 answers. The ones I would value equally first would be firstly the guy who gives me various options and picks his recommended one. I'd say that guy sounds pretty reliable. But the other one where me and
that stands at 3, yeah.
Okay.
Let's rate them. Yeah?
For me,
as in position, not rate them. Sorry, as in positions.
Let's make that the 4th position of the 4.
Okay.
Right. But I would also give equal weight to the first position, is the guy who answers you straight away with where the toilets are. Now, the one I would be most suspicious of is the one that you consider to be the most credible. You consider the guy who stops and looks around and then gives you an answer as the most credible, whereas I would consider him to be the least credible.
You know what? Yes, I'm with you with that.
Okay.
I know I'm straight up with you.
Cool.
Yeah.
We agree.
And what happens to the final one?
I would be in the middle with him. I mean, if you've got to stop and think about it, you don't know.
Yeah, because the unfortunate thing is you're meeting a guy and he might be going down the tube as you're coming up and he just wants to get rid of you.
Anyone who has to stop and think doesn't know where the toilets are, in my opinion. He's guessing.
Well, context.
No, in any context. If I ask somebody a question and they have to stop
Paul,
and
you're
think...
just ruining me on my own fucking thing because I actually say this at work. Oh my god, why just prove me wrong? Paul is just fucking annoying me. Because I say this at work, I say, if you have to think, you're lying.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
You're right.
But that's big. But I it's a shared space.
I mean, it might be.
No, I think going up an escalator and going down an escalator is not a shared space.
I don't understand shared space.
Okay. So many considerations. The guy in front of you on an escalator,
Yeah.
coming up to Leicester Square, and you ask him, he shares the same space as you because he's emerging into Trafalgar Square.
Oh, he's going in your direct. You're going in the same direction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you get to the top there and you encounter someone in Leicester Square, they are in the they're high. You're highly unlikely to engage a very chill dude doing fuck all. You're more likely to engage someone that's doing something, and the something they're doing exists at the forefront of their mind. Now, when you ask them a question, they have to eject what's at the forefront of their mind and replace what's at the forefront of their mind with your question.
Yeah.
And that delayed period is what you're experiencing there. So when I say to someone at work, your delayed response means you're lying, it's because I'm in a shared space with them. Whereas if I'm in a contradictory
you don't need
space,
to allow them time to reconfigure their thought.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then they exist in the same time, space and work. They share. We share.
Yes. So in a shared space, the pause is more concerning.
The pause is a giveaway.
Yeah.
Yeah. But in an unshared space, it's an unknown, and therefore you'd give over to what we gave over to in outside of relation, family and friends, which is the betterment of man, the something saint. I said.
Good Samaritan.
Good Samaritan, that's it. Yeah, you give it over to the Good Samaritan. Because immediately they dump their current thing and then consider yours. I'd say good. And also, that you've got to remember, if you're a trickster or you're someone that preys upon people, it takes time and effort to build that character. Yeah? So you could not do that in an instant. It requires an exceptional talent to be able to weave that level of deceit at the drop of a hat. And then that's nothing to say of maintaining it. You might be able to weave it at the drop of a hat, but then to hope to maintain it a couple of seconds later is not going to happen. Yeah? So you're more likely to... So you've got two things. You either drop into the hands of a Samaritan, or you either drop into the hands of a conster. But then you drop into the hands of a Samaritan, everything ends. Everyone dances around the maypole and everybody has a hug and everything goes well. You drop into the hands of a conster, a trickster, and they sow seeds of doubt or misinformation. that is easily disproved seconds later because if they say something that you're unsure of, what do?
Disconsider it.
No, seek clarification. Now, if you're so in deceit, it's very hard. Like, how many films have you seen?
If you already have decided that they're a trickster, why would you...
No, I'm not saying you already decided.
Oh, okay, right.
What I'm saying is you don't know.
So, right,
And
you've
you
asked
see-
someone where the toilets are,
Yes.
and they've paused. Is that right?
What I'm saying is that I'm saying the next stage.
From asking them where the toilets are?
Directions. Okay, let's say all 4 circumstances give directions, as in an arm gesture to where you're going.
Yeah.
After that, you might, I gotta go back to it. But basically, seek clarification. But clarification is where, through clarification, you find out whether there's nefarious. Because the amount of films that are proved to us that if you want to present an untruth, you better fucking be sure that that untruth is rock solid. Where did you live? Who are you married to? What are the names of your children? How old are they? Where do they go to school? Where do you live? What's your bus route? What's your bus pass? What are your problems? What's your mortgage? What's your financial situation? What are your hopes? What are your dreams? How did you meet? That's a good one.
Right.
Yeah? And I'm on 14
Yeah.
of just what I've said now.
Yeah.
I'm sure I could sow more.
That's amazing counting. by the
Okay,
way.
so that's a lot. Can we consider that to be a lot?
That's a lot, yeah.
Okay, can you do that in an instant?
No.
Fuck no. So to sow doubt takes considerable effort.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can take the Good Samaritan over the devil or evil or bad person, whatever it is. You can weight it more considerably because the amount of effort and care and consideration to navigate the lines of inquiry that you would present to the Good Samaritan.
But would all this apply to somebody you're asking where the toilets are?
Yeah. Why not? Why would it not? Paul, why would it not? Exactly.
Because it's a 5-second interaction with no follow-up.
No, but this is what I'm saying. You read Nautilus, yeah? You read
No.
Nautilus. Okay, so
That one's still on my to-read list.
we have sight, hearing, touch, smell, and the other one.
The 5 senses.
Yeah, whatever. We have the 5 senses.
Taste.
We have the 5 senses. Okay. Now, biologists just found out that the amount of information we have feeding into our cortex from our 5 senses is too much.
Right.
It overwhelms. Without the subconscious mind, it would overwhelm the conscious mind.
Okay.
So the subconscious mind filters the inputs from our 5 senses and presents that to the conscious mind. But they've also proven that actually that's not actually the case.
Right.
The conscious mind delves down. It actually doesn't feed up. It feeds up and the conscious mind goes down into the subconscious.
Right.
So the subconscious presents its findings to the conscious mind.
Yeah.
And also the conscious mind delves down in and interrogates the subconscious and picks out features. Which is why when you're walking down the street and with your missus, you're walking down the street and you meet someone you know And your missus like, how is it going? Yeah, lovely. You okay? Yeah, brilliant. Not a problem. How's things? Yeah, they're great. They're just in school and everything. And you have all the civilities of human contact, and you walk off. And your missus, I fucking hate her. She's a slag. And you're like, what? Like, whoa! Like, you know, what the fuck? That's a serious accusation. Why the fuck is she a slag? You're like, you know, everything was normal and everything. And you know what she says?
No.
Every fucking time, Paul, she says, I don't know. And you know why? Because the subconscious mind filters it up and filters it through mechanisms of trust and distrust that cannot be categorized by the conscious mind.
A hunch. She's got
So
a
the
hunch.
subconscious mind presents to the conscious mind a hunch. Okay? Now I've got to go to bed because I'm drunk and B, I've got work.
Well, let me stop recording.